Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. We ended in a tie, and nobody is happy. And now here's Coach Frendor. Do. Quick snap.
Yeah.
What a game. Yep. Everybody wins when there's a tie, of course, Coach.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
Everybody wins.
Love to see it.
Tie. You know, it's one of those things where it's better than a loss, but it's worse than not winning. So, yes.
I know what you were trying to say. Yes.
Yeah.
It is. So, it is better than losing, I suppose, but
it is. But you still want to win that one just because, winning.
Yeah. And now you now and forever get to go along in the season with knowing that you tied the Dallas Cowboys. So congrats. The scoregami was real, and hats off to the Packers for showing just amazing clock control at the very end there. That was that was elite.
Beautiful. A really good play calling as well. Just doing some screens with 40 seconds left, especially when running the ball normally was working. So why not just, do that?
My favorite part
work.
My favorite part was when Jordan Love decided to throw for 60 instead of only getting 6, and then making it going to 4th down, and then just do the play they should have done on 3rd down. That was my favorite part, other than the tie, of course.
Yeah. Now, I will say, tying the Dallas Cowboys is better than losing to them. Because then everyone's in this weird state of like, I don't know. But if you lose, then everyone's like, haha, you lost. So it's not terrible. It's just kind of, it's like a weird state of being.
Mm-hmm. It's NFL limbo is what it is.
Yeah, you're just stuck in that limbo. And now we have a bye week. So we just got 2 weeks of just being in limbo. And it's just like, well, and hey, you know what? They say who won that trade? I think the Packers still won the trade because they would have lost if Micah Parsons didn't sack Dak Prescott in overtime there. He was running it in.
I would say that neither team won the trade based on this game. Just saying.
Well, you could say that both teams won the trade through the process of a tie trade.
Yep, a tie trade. That's
trade.
If I've ever heard any type of description for any Jerry Jones trade ever, that would be it, a tie trade.
Yeah.
He's probably happy that they tied the trade because man, that was pathetic play calling and pathetic clock management at the very end. Some of the worst I've seen. I mean, the Packers had at least 18 seconds left to go while still having the option to. You could have spiked it. You could have tried to run a play. You could have tried to run out of bounds. You could have done anything that you could have done there other than just walking up and then taking one final shot in the end zone. They honestly, I thought the Packers were there couldn't have been more than a half second left on that clock because there's no way that they should have gotten off another field goal. By that point, I was just hoping they were just missing it because they did not even deserve to tie at that point.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was even a second left. I mean, to me, the worst part there was just the play calls there. Like, just the running the ball's working fine. And if you're going to do some sort of run, why do, like, some outside screen? Like, just take a shot, like, across the middle at the end zone. Like, you might as well. Yeah, you're going to do it anyway.
I didn't understand. On the 2 plays in a row, they just did a short screen. One was out to the right side, and the other was in a bunch package that didn't go anywhere. It's like, what do they know they have to score, right? They are on their own 20-yard line. Like, they have to move the field. So it was just it was an entertaining game. If you don't like either one of these teams, it was probably torturous. If you do like either one of these teams, I'm sure Coach will probably tell you that on the main pod. But as always, thank you everyone for tuning in here to the live quick snap. Saying hello to the chat. Hello, Gabe, Basil Breath, Bardlock Moses, Sophia, Dominic, Skywolf K, Greg Turtle, Catherine, K, Disturbed Town, Rarity Made My Dress, all going, other people. Thank you very much for showing up here. Remember to click the like button if you enjoy these quick casts, as they do help out and grow the channel. And looking at the greater week on the whole here for week 4, we had a lot of ref ball, way more ref ball than I think I've seen this entire season.
By the way, we speaking of this game, we also had that terrible no pass interference called in overtime where the guy didn't turn around, ran into the receiver, and it didn't get called.
Yep.
So I don't know what they were looking for, but that was a great referee right there.
Yep, that was one of the many missed calls that happened this week. I think the most, it's going to be biased, but I think the most damaging one was the fumble call on Bucky Irving, which was absolutely in no universe a fumble. But we'll get into that on Tuesday. Other missed calls is a huge holding call in the Packers game that was just never called on the Cowboys right before the touchdown. And it was just bad officiating throughout most of the games that I saw this week. Pretty much a total decimation of my pick'ems. Both Bear and I lost our locks because I guess it's now the Jackson Dart era, Coach.
Yep. I mean, they should have been starting Jackson Dart for a while because Russell Wilson's not good, and Jackson Dart at least seemed promising. He looked good in the preseason. They should have been like, oh, yeah, let's play this guy, but they didn't. Also, I don't know, the Dak Prescott threw the ball where he like threw it and they're like receiver in the area and there's literally nobody there.
Yeah,
like,
that
where is he?
That I said in the group chat, I guess the sideline counts as a receiver because there was nobody, and I mean nobody there. I don't know how they got away with not getting a grounding call. And just the week 4 was pretty. It was pretty bad. It was just pretty bad.
It was a pretty bad week so far. I mean, just looking at some of these games, like we had the Steelers beat the Vikings. Seahawks Cardinals was like, we talked about that one already, but it was good, but like also bad at the same time. Falcons Commanders suck. Giants Chargers, like good for the Giants, but just a bad game in general.
Yeah.
Texans shut out the Titans. Buccaneers shit themselves. Patriots blew out the Panthers. Bills beat the Saints. Like Lions beat the Browns. Jaguars 49ers. Like I guess the Rams Colts was like a pretty decent game, although Daniel Jones didn't really play well. The Ravens looked terrible against the Chiefs.
As they always do.
The Bears, even though they won 25-24 on the block field goal, like they literally had the ball like 3 times in the Raider 25-yard line red zone and got like 6 points. They were lucky to even be there at the end. Like they played terribly, but then the Raiders are the Raiders, so they don't know how to play football. Oh my God. There's a play the Raiders did early in the game. They literally are at their own 30. They ran a quarterback sneak where Geno Smith ran into his own lineman and fell backwards. Then, 4th down, they go for it, run it up the middle, and lose yards. I was like, what are you doing? You're on your own 30. Like, what?
Yep.
And then luckily the Bears scored 3 for them there, but still, like, if the Bears were like a decent team, they like any good team, like the Bills or some shit, this game probably was like 40-7, like blowout. But it's the Bears and the Raiders, so it was a close game.
I was surprised at how, going back to the Cowboys and Packers game, I was surprised at how even they were, almost identical for stats that Jordan Love and Dak Prescott were. Dak threw for 31 for 40 for 319 and 3 touchdowns and 1 sack. Jordan Love's did 31 for 43 for 43 for 337 and 3 TDs and a sack as well. Dak did edge out on the QB rating of 124.9 over Jordan Love's 118.1. Josh Jacobs 22 rushes for 86 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's how you pound the rock. That's what you want to see from your all-star running back. And then he also caught 4 for 71. He was 100% on all 4 targets. Whereas the Cowboys also really pounded the rock there with the run, 20 for 85 for Javonte Williams and 1 TD. I mean, it was all around. It was just a hard-nosed game. George Pickens, of course, had a monster game, 8 for 134 with 2 TDs on 11 targets. And I'm glad that we didn't see a very boring defensive matchup. But we knew that the Cowboys weren't going to play defense because they don't have a great defense. But we fully expected the Packers the elite Packers Wisconsin cheese, not Swiss cheese defense to come out in full force, and that did not happen with 40 points up on the board.
Well, it happened early, and then everything kind of fell apart. It all fell apart after the Packers scored, and they tried to kick the extra point to go up 14-0, and it got blocked and returned for 2 points, which ended up being pretty important. So another Packers special teams goof. With a fantastic situation there. And so it's just, and then they just fell apart. Devontae Wyatt going out, probably their best interior lineman, also did not help because interior linemen are pretty important. Also, 3 starting Packer offensive linemen were out this game. So they're pretty banged up in terms of just like, injuries. But I mean, so is like everybody at this point. So you can't really use that.
I know everything about being banged up on my football team. And yes, Romeo Doubs, obviously the big receiver of the game for the Packers, 6 for 58 for 3 touchdowns. Congrats to all Romeo Doubs owners out there, which Coach was thoroughly celebrating in the group chat. And remember, everybody, if you're watching this live, if you want to see more quick snaps here, all you got to do is click the like button, leave comments after the VOD goes live, of course. I know that there's a problem with the announcement bot or something like that going on in the Discord. So I believe that somebody's working on that. And yes, the thumbnail will always show last week's thumbnail than the one going live, and that's just YouTube. So, but looking forward for the Packers here going on into Week 5. Coach, what are your thoughts on them coming out of the bye? For who are they playing out of their bye?
Out of the bye, the Packers
6.
play the Bengals, so that should be a win in Green Bay. I mean, if you look at their schedule right now, they have Bengals, Cardinals, Steelers, Panthers. So like Aaron Rodgers against the Packers is going to be a crazy game. I don't know how that'll go, but they should beat the backup quarterback Bengals, the Cardinals, and the Panthers. Those are 3 bad teams. So like they should realistically be all right. And then they got the Giants, which I mean,
that's a
with
trap
Jackson
game.
Dart, that kind of is a trap. Although Malik Neighbor's gone for the year.
Yeah.
So that's not good
really
for them.
sucks.
We play the Eagles in Green Bay, which it's the Eagles. So knowing the Packers, they'll probably beat the Eagles and lose to the Panthers or some shit. Then we got Vikings, Lions, Bears. Holy, the divisional gauntlet. Then Broncos, Bears, Ravens, Vikings, which, I mean, the Ravens game is it's not even looking that bad at this point. Broncos has a good defense. I mean, I think they're going to make the playoffs. It's just, you don't know with this team. Like, this team can beat the Lions, then they beat the Commanders, and they shit themselves to the Browns, and then they tie the Cowboys. It's just like the Packers beat themselves half the time with just penalties, dumbass turnovers, dumbass, like, special teams, just terrible play calling, time management. Like, it's just, it happens every year.
He's losing it.
This shit happened.
This shit happened. Someone hit him with the hose. Hit him with the hose.
This shit happened in
Contain him.
2016. We're going to the Super
That is
Bowl.
Mike.
What happens? Special team goofs. The fucking guy doesn't get the onside kick. Like, nobody knows how to play football anymore, and then we're just gone. It's just like
hit the
Green Bay
button.
Packer football.
He's losing it. Coach is losing it. I mean, I was just asking about Week 6, but then Coach went off on the deep end and went to the for the rest of the dang season, I guess. So overall, I think the Packers will be fine. As the Cowboys now are looking at playing the Jets next Sunday in New York, which is yep, that's going to be a barn burner. And then they should beat the Panthers, and then the Commanders I don't even know, and then the Broncos I don't even know. So it's 2 toss-up games with 2 should-be wins for the Cowboys, but it's going to be interesting, Coach. And congrats to your Packers. You tied the Jerry Jones football, Cowboys football, Dallas football.
Yep. I mean, still, at the end of the day, a tie is better than the loss. So, I mean,
that's the talk of a winner right there. that's winner speak
not a
right
winner.
there.
I'm here to just get by. And you know what? They got by. That's a game that the Packers probably should have lost, and somehow they didn't lose it. They tied it. So you know what? Take it and move on. Because right now, if you lose that game, then you're just tied with the Vikings and the Bears. Now they're still a half game up on them because of that tie. So that's actually meaningful. Look at that.
This is the most copium tie conclusion I think I've ever heard.
No.
Yeah. So,
in fact, the last time the Packers tied was against the Minnesota Vikings in 2019.
all right.
That's right. That was which actually wasn't that long ago, only 6 years ago.
And then
And
then COVID
guess
happened.
what?
So thanks, Packers. That's
Yep. And guess what? That year, the Green Bay Packers went on to make the playoffs and lose to the 49ers. So take that. That means we're going to have another fantastic year of losing in the divisional round.
all right. Well, we got to wrap it up here, Coach, for the quick snap. Thank you, everybody who tuned in live. We'll try to get Coach Krendor's meds working before Tuesday. And congrats, because none of us won, none of us lost, but in the end, we all tied, and no one's happy, and Coach Krendor isn't.
Yep.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you on Tuesday. Well, today is technically Wednesday. Tuesday for patrons. Wednesday here for the Three Guys in Bear Talk About Football podcast. And more for Week 5. Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun.